Hey, welcome to Counterpoint Conversations. This is Shah, VP Research and co-founder at Counterpoint Research. Today I have a very special guest at this Lenovo Tech World at CES 2026, Vlad Rozanovich, SVP of Infection Solutions Group, rather, ISG, at Lenovo. So, Vlad, welcome.
Yeah, sure. Thanks. Great to see you again.
I have a few questions, and because the elephant in the room is AI, obviously, and you're enabling AI with your infrastructure portfolio. So, how is seeing, or with all the announcements yesterday, how is seeing the atmosphere? As you said, you had multiple meetings, right? So, can you just lay out for us what is the enthusiasm around infrastructure right now?
Sure. And Neil, great to see you again. And one of the things that I see when we look at AI, the last few years have really been just this emerging area of training and large language models that many of the cloud service providers and neo cloud providers have been able to really take advantage of. Most deployments you have seen today around AI have been those large scale deployments looking at those frontier or foundational models.
Right.
There's a transition that's happening today, and it's this shift to inference. It's a shift to start utilizing those foundational models to actually create action and analytics and engagement and potentially profitability efficiencies and productivity gains for enterprises.
Correct.
And so what we're seeing now is we are starting to see it's just the beginning. If you think of this as where we are on the spectrum of AI infrastructure being out there in a prominent way, we are just at the infancy of where AI is really going to start making a difference for enterprises. Even though it's not new, we've done machine vision and language models before, but this is really how are you accelerating not just those traditional areas of AI or machine learning. This is really how are you making better analytical decisions for your enterprise, for your mid-market, for your government. Correct. That's the stage that I think we're seeing today.
Yeah, like Jensen says, every enterprise will become a AI factory. That's right. At some point, small or big, right?
Yeah.
So fascinating. With all of this in tow, right? Lenovo has a huge portfolio, right? From a rack scale system to a AI edge server. That's right. Right. So how do you plan your portfolio with so many things going on the demand side, right? We want to focus on rack scale systems, and also with respect to where you're most profitable as well. Sure. That is also a hanging sword for you.
Yeah, Neil. When I look at it, how does Lenovo look at the entire landscape of enterprise IT? And how do we make sure that we are really developing the right products and bringing them to the right partners or end customers in the market? And the complexity is getting more and more tough. You have AMD CPUs, AMD GPUs, you have ARM CPUs starting to come out, Intel, AMD on the CPU side. And the complexity is something where we as Lenovo can't do every permutation of every product, right? From both the edge server that might be a robust edge server that's very low power operating in maybe a high temperature environment, all the way through, like you said, massive liquid cooled servers within our Neptune portfolio product line that actually can handle up to 160 kilowatts.
Right.
And so the scope of where customers need AI is massive. And so for us, it is that decision point of what part of the market do we want to play in? Well, for us, we view it as a few things. We view it as within the cloud service provider space, the neo cloud space, we absolutely want to be part of delivering gigafactories like we announced with Jensen yesterday.
Yes.
How do we deliver gigafactories to those organizations doing these frontier models? All the way to one of the things we also announced yesterday was a portfolio of inference servers. And those inference servers actually go into different parts of the market.
Correct.
Our SR675, potential with 8-way GPUs, going into enterprise AI that have maybe large permutation or large compute capabilities in infrastructures that can handle over 100 kilowatts. Right. Then we also announced our SR650i. And the I at the end of every one of our servers means it's for inference. Because what we do is we make sure we tailor the right GPU for the right parameter size or the right application set. So our midstream, or what we call the inference server for general enterprise, is your SR650i. That's going to be your mainstream Intel rack. Power levels that are not, a fully dense rack will only probably about 15 kilowatts, not 150 kilowatts. And so that's going to be what we're targeting to mainstream enterprise for mainstream data center for mainstream AI applications. And then you have what's called our edge portfolio for AI, which we announced, which is the SE455i, which is a very rugged, robust edge server operating at a very effective, efficient power level. But it could be used for multiple locations. So if you think of things like maybe smart retail or smart manufacturing, different verticals. That's right. It could be fast food. It could be smart retail. It could be security surveillance. All of those areas are areas where our SE455i could be used. And the wonderful thing about all those products is they're not cloud-based, because when you think of inference, it has to be done where the data resides. Correct. And so for the SE455 on the small edge, it could be very remote locations or low power locations. If it's your standard enterprise rack server, maybe your storage systems reside right there. Or if it's your high-end GPU servers, again, computation with the lowest amount of latency happening on-prem in your data center.
It's brilliant. And how much of it is customized as well? Because that is where you can extract more value and differentiate.
Yeah.
Right. So you have ODM plus
Yes.
model as well.
That's right. And so when we think of what we do for the large hyperscalers, when we look at what we do for the neo clouds, we do offer a fully customized ODM-like portfolio. So when we think of the biggest cloud service providers in the world, we'll do everything from motherboard design to rack integration, all the way to full rack configuration. So anything from L6 all the way to L11 type deployments. And for those, as part of our ODM plus engagements with customers, we will offer full scale customization or semi customization. And so one of the things that we also do is, if some of these large CSP type customers want something that's more out of our enterprise line, but maybe they just want small adjustments to how we're looking at a portfolio, then we can do those semi customization type of offerings as well.
Brilliant. So I've been following the earnings, and the group has been doing like $4 billion per quarter now, right? And high double digit, 20 or 25% growth year on year, rather, right? But at the same time, you're investing a lot, right?
We are.
And that is where you're waiting for that inflection point where you hit profitability.
That's right.
And grow, right? So what are those different levers and differentiators, right, which will help you reach that inflection point?
That's right. And Neil, I mentioned it earlier. The complexity of the data center market today is unmatched.
Yeah.
The amount of solutions between x86 and ARM and CPU and GPU and NPU and TPU are growing every day.
Correct.
We have ARM providers coming to us every day asking for mainstream products.
Okay.
But we're not going to put mainstream products out unless there's a demand in the market for them.
Correct.
And so you bring up a good question, or good statement. Lenovo has been growing. If you look at our CAGR of revenue on the data center side, it's been of approximately 46% year on year for the last 2 years.
Right.
And we continue to see that growth rate happen. Profitability is challenged. And part of this is the investment you need. Number one, make sure you have the right products. Make sure you have the right scale. Make sure that you are aligned to the right solutions for the marketplace. But then also making sure that you have this balance of how much do you want to provide engagement to the cloud service providers who are very ruthless on pricing and margin, to how do you actually add more services, right, for customers like enterprise, mid-market, small business,
right,
where Lenovo can do more. We can do advisory services on the front end. We can do things like TrueScale, where we do compute as a service. We can do things like maintenance and warranty agreements. And so for us, that mainstream enterprise part of the business is critical. And that's where Lenovo's been successful for so long. If you look at our success on the ThinkPad side, where we are the number one PC manufacturer in the world, if you look at the success we've had in the high-end workstation space, for us, we view the data center space as really that next extension of how do we provide real value to enterprises who may not have the resources like the big cloud providers. But how do we offer services, support, maintenance, advisory services, storage solutions? When you start growing that at scale, that's when the profitability engine changes for Lenovo.
And that is where you're basically, what I understand, you're going from a product mindset to solution mindset. That's right. bundling and services. And that is where you closely work with SSG as well.
That's right. Yes. When I talk about advisory services and factory deployments and AI, what we call our AI hybrid and managed services, where we will even work with an enterprise to say, here's the NVIDIA software stack that you should be looking at, and Lenovo can help you deploy that. Those SSG advisory services are really exactly what we're talking about.
Great. Any partnerships you want to highlight, which is in top of your mind right now?
Yeah, I think, AI is not just about software, right? But software is critical for AI to be successful.
Correct.
And so some of the things we also announced yesterday is we announced uh, go-to-market engagements with Red Hat, Canonical, Nutanix. So for instance, with Nutanix, we launched our Think Agile product that's ready for inference. We also launched something called our Think Agile FX, which is if there's customers who are looking to do migration from VMware to Nutanix, you actually have a certified node that is seamless across that generational shift of software change. And so for us, those are some of the partnerships that we engage in. Other partnerships on the hardware side,
Right.
Cisco. We actually do rack integration of network switches with Cisco.
Wow.
And we do that on a worldwide basis. And so if there are customers that say, we want the best compute hardware, the best GPU hardware, but we also want the best networking and security, Lenovo can actually offer Cisco network switches as part of one of those engagements.
Wow.
So those are some of the partnerships that we engage in.
That's brilliant. Thank you very much. And this has been very insightful.
Great.
And thank you very much. And
Deal.
congratulations on all the progress and announcements.
Wonderful.
Thank you very much.
Wonderful. Great to see you again.